Dear students, let us learn isomerism in coordination compounds in today's class. So, coordination compounds having same molecular formula but different arrangement of ligands with respect to central metal is known as isomers. So, different arrangement of ligands with respect to central metal gives rise to isomers in the case of coordination compounds. So, isomerism in coordination compounds classified into two types, stereoisomerism and structural isomerism. In structural isomerism, again it is classified into different types. Here we are going to see about ionization isomerism, linkage isomerism, hydrate isomerism, ligand isomerism and coordination isomerism. So, in today's class, let us learn about structural isomerism. In the next video, let us learn about stereoisomerism, which is further classified into geometrical isomerism and optical isomerism. Let us see what is ionization isomerism. This type of isomerism arises when the coordination compounds having same molecular formula but gives different ions in solution. That is, the coordination compound having same molecular formula, when you dissolve the compound in water, it will give different ions in solution, different complex ion and different simple ion. Let us take an example of this complex compound where ammonia, bromine and sulfate can act as ligand and cobalt is the central metal. So, this molecular formula can give rise to two different isomers. So, where in the first case, in the first isomer, sulfate is outside the coordination sphere, bromine is inside the coordination sphere, and in the other isomer, we are having bromine outside the coordination sphere and sulfate inside the coordination sphere. So, when you dissolve the first isomer in water, what happens? It gives rise to two ions, one complex ion and simple ion. The simple ion will be sulfate ion. Since it is outside the coordination sphere, it dissociates into simple ion when you dissolve in water. Okay, so sulfate ions will be coming out and you will be getting one more ion, that is complex ion. So, since it is a complex ion, the bromine, since it is inside the coordination sphere, it cannot come out. Okay, so we will be getting one complex ion and one simple ion. So, when you treat this solution with barium chloride, you will be getting white precipitate confirming the presence of sulfate ion. Okay, since sulfate ion is outside the coordination sphere and it is free also, so it gives answer for barium chloride. It gives white precipitate with barium chloride confirming the presence of sulfate ion. Okay. So, when you test the same solution with silver nitrate, it won't give any reaction, no reaction, because generally silver nitrate reacts with halides and gives precipitate. Okay, since bromine is inside the coordination sphere and it is not free, when you treat the complex ion with silver nitrate, you won't be getting any answer. So, presence of bromine is not recognized here. Okay. So, let us take another isomer. So, let us take this isomer. When you dissolve this isomer in water, here you are having bromine outside the coordination sphere. So, when you dissolve this isomer in water, what happens? You will be getting again two ions, one complex ion and simple ion. So, since bromine is outside the coordination sphere, it will be coming out and bromide ion will be present in the solution, and sulfate ion, it is inside the coordination sphere, so it cannot come out. Okay, it is present as the complex ion along with cobalt and ammonia. Okay, so when you test this solution with barium chloride, you won't be getting any answer. That is, there will be no reaction, no white precipitate will be formed with barium chloride, showing that sulfate is not free, it is in the complex ion. Okay, so whereas this solution gives an answer for silver nitrate, it gives pale yellow precipitate confirming the presence of bromide ion. So this kind of isomerism is known as ionization isomerism, which arises due to the ionization of the coordination compound. So the name is ionization isomerism. So when you dissolve the coordination compounds in water, it gives different ions. So the isomerism arises. That is why it is known as ionization isomerism. Next, let us see linkage isomerism. Linkage isomerism arises when the ligand has two donor atoms to form the bond with central metal. Okay, so when the ligand has two donor atoms, it can form a bond with central metal atom with either of the two atoms. So the linkage isomerism arises due to the linkage of the ligand atom with the central metal atom. So that is why the name linkage isomerism. Let us see examples to understand. So let us take an example of nitro group. So in nitro group we have two atoms, nitrogen and oxygen. Both nitrogen and oxygen are having lone pair of electron. So it can donate the electron and form the bond with central metal. So nitrogen can form bond with central metal, or oxygen can form bond with central metal. So depending upon the atom with which the central metal is linked, the name arises. That is why the name is given as linkage isomerism. With which metal the central metal bonds with the ligand. Okay. So let us take the nitro group. So in if nitrogen bonds with cobalt, then the name is nitro. If oxygen bonds with cobalt, then the name is nitrito. Okay, so that is the difference. So in the first case, in the first isomer, cobalt, the metal, central metal cobalt is bonded with nitrogen. In the second case, the cobalt is bonded with oxygen. Okay, so accordingly the name is given. So in the first case, when cobalt bonds with nitrogen, the name is nitro, pentamine nitro cobalt 3 chloride, the coordination compound name. Okay, in the second case it is nitrito. Okay, let us see one more example. So here in this ligand, sulfur can bond with central metal, or nitrogen can bond with central metal. Okay, so the ligand can bond with central metal atom either through sulfur or through nitrogen. Okay, so accordingly we will be getting two isomers. One isomer, in one isomer the central metal is bonded with sulfur, in the other isomer the central metal is bonded with the nitrogen. Okay, so here the two isomers are given. So in the first case, palladium is bonded with sulfur, so the name is thiocyanato. Okay, dipyridyl dithiocyanato palladium 2, the name of the compound. Okay, in the second case, palladium is bonded with nitrogen, so accordingly the name is isothiocyanato. So if sulfur is bonded with the central metal, then it is thiocyanato. If nitrogen is bonded with central metal, then it is known as isothiocyanato. So the isomerism arises due to the linkage of the ligand with the metal. That is why the name is linkage isomerism. Next, let us see hydrate isomerism. Hydrate isomerism arises due to the difference in number of water molecules inside the coordination sphere and outside the coordination sphere. So depending upon the number of water molecules inside the coordination sphere and outside the coordination sphere, there arises isomerism, that is known as hydrate isomerism, and the isomers are known as hydrate isomers. Let us see an example. Chromium chloride with 6 molecules of water. It gives rise to different isomers. In the first case, we are having 6 water molecules inside the coordination sphere, and 3 ionizable chloride outside the coordination sphere. So the color of this compound is violet color. Next isomer is, in the next second isomer we are having 5 water molecules inside the coordination sphere and 1 water molecule outside the coordination sphere, and we are having 2 chloride ions, that is 2 ionizable chloride ions outside the coordination sphere, and this color of this complex is green color. The next isomer is having 4 water molecules inside the coordination sphere and 2 water molecules outside the coordination sphere, and we are having only 1 ionizable chloride ion in this complex compound, and the color of this compound is dark green color. Okay, so depending upon the number of water molecules inside and outside the coordination sphere, we are having different isomers. This is known as hydrate isomerism. The phenomenon is known as hydrate isomerism, and the coordination compounds are known as hydrate isomers. So this type of isomerism arises due to the difference in number of water molecules inside and outside the coordination sphere. Next, let us see ligand isomerism. This type of isomerism arises when the coordination compounds having same molecular formula but differs in the structure of the ligand. So this type of isomerism arises due to difference in the structure of the ligand. Okay, let us take the example of ligands. So here we are having 2 molecules which can act as ligand. Okay, so in the first case the amine group is at first carbon and amine group is at second carbon, so the name is propane 1,2-diamine. In the second case, the amine group is at first carbon and at third carbon, so the name is propane 1,3-diamine. Both the compounds are isomers which can act as ligands. So these 2 compounds are bidentate. The 2 compounds can act as bidentate ligand because in both the cases 2 nitrogen atoms are present. So the 2 nitrogen atoms can bond with the central metal atom. So it is a bidentate ligand, and these 2 compounds are isomers. So when these 2 compounds binds with central metal, it gives rise to different compounds. They are isomers. Okay. So since the isomerism arises due to the difference in the structure of the ligand, the name is given as ligand isomerism. So example is tris propane 1,2-diamine chromium 3 chloride. So here in the first case the first isomer propane 1,2-diamine. Diamine is acting as the ligand and it forms bond with chromium. So the nitrogen, this nitrogen as well as this nitrogen, both the nitrogen forms bond with chromium. Okay, this compound is known as tris propane 1,2-diamine chromium 3 chloride. The other isomer is formed due to the propane 1,3-diamine. So here also we are having 2 nitrogen atoms. So these 2 nitrogen atoms forms bond with chromium and giving rise to tris propane 1,3-diamine chromium 3 chloride coordination compound. So these 2 coordination compounds are isomers because of the difference in structure of the ligand. So the name is ligand isomerism. Next, let us see coordination isomerism. When both cation and anion are complex ion, the ions can interchange their ligands. This gives rise to coordination isomerism, and the compounds are called coordination isomers. That is, when both cation and anion are complex ion, it can exchange or interchange their ligands. So the isomerism arises. Let us see example. Okay, so here we are having example hexamine cobalt 3 and hexacyanochromate 3. Okay, So cation name first and then anion name. So we are having cation and anion. Okay, both cation and anion are complex ions, so they can exchange their ligands. So cyanide can come here and ammonia can go there. Okay, so ammonia can bind with chromium and cyanide can bind with cobalt. So you will be getting other isomer. Okay, so here chromium is binded with ammonia and cobalt is binded with cyanide. Okay, so here we are having cobalt and ammonia, here we are having chromium and ammonia, and chromium and cyanide here, and here cobalt and cyanide. So ligands have been exchanged. So both are isomers. Here the metals have exchanged their ligands. Okay, so in the second case the cation is chromium ammonia complex and anion is cobalt cyanide complex. Okay, so always we have to write cation first and then anion. So we are writing like this, and name also cation first and then anion. Okay, so coordination isomerism arises when both cation and anion are complex ion. So when both cation and anion are complex ion, they can exchange their ligands. So when they are exchanging their ligands, when the metals are exchanging their ligands, then you will be getting another isomer. Okay, so another compound which is a isomer of this compound. Okay, that is coordination isomerism.